Mary Ann and Thomas McClintock moved here from Philadelphia in 1836. In Philadelphia, they were founding members of the Free Produce Society. The Free Produce Society boycotted all products that were manufactured with slave labor. They actually brought that thought here with them to Waterloo. So much so that when they opened their store here in Waterloo, they didn't sell any products that were produced with slave labor.
Socialized as men has veered us way off track, and I think that we're seeing in the way that boys are being raised contemporaneously that there's lots of signs for hope. Instead of the old days when a little boy would fall down and the message would be from adults, regardless of gender, big boys don't cry. Now you're seeing more of the times where, come here, let me give you a snuggle, it's okay. And I think that message early on to little boys that it is okay to cry, that's a message that if we can take that and all of the attendant other expressions of our full humanity, we're going to see a brighter day for all of us. There are a lot of young men and older men here in New York, around the country, and as I'll talk about a little later, around the world, who are engaged in pro-feminist men's movement. And it's a movement that's been going on for 40 years, even though it's been under the radar.
Does anybody know who Donna Reed is? Yeah. She's an Academy Award winner. She was the quintessential housewife, but paradoxically, she was a real mother and a real working mother, and she has a daughter who's here today. Come on up. Here's her daughter, still alive and perky.
So, a lot of people don't realize that my mother was also an activist. After the show was over in 1966, she joined up with another Mother for Peace and fought against ending the Vietnam War, and then nuclear armed disarmament and ICBMs, things like that, after the war in Vietnam was over.
With the Declaration of Sentiments that was read here is that we must go out with our message and petition it, speak it from the pulpit. And what's amazing is we have a woman here who comes from Occoquan, that it's a workhouse where Alice Paul and other suffragists were thrown into a jail. They were force-fed, and this is the first time the White House was ever picketed, and this is by the silent sentinels who stood in front of the White House day after day after day. And it was during the winter, and their feet were so cold that their other suffragists took bricks, put them in an oven, took the bricks over to the White House, and right where they were picketing, and let them stand on the bricks so their feet wouldn't freeze. So anyway, here's a woman that's going to tell you a little bit more about where these women, the silent sentinels, were put into a workhouse because they picketed the White House, trying to make democracy a part of the United States.
Mr. President, how long must women wait for liberty? Mr. President, how long must women wait for liberty? Join with me, please. Mr. President, how long must women wait for liberty?
One word, one mind, one love. We will fly along and ride. We will be home for all. One world, one mind. One word, one mind, one love. We will fly along and ride. Each will be home for all.
Traditional Iroquois white corn. This is grown at Ganondigan. We have the Iroquois White Corn Project that is processing this corn. This is traditional seed handed down generation to generation. My ancestors came from the village of Ganondigan in the 1600s. Today we're a historic site. We tell the story of Ganondigan and what happened there. This corn is gluten-free. It's a very equal metabolizer when you eat it. Your sugar doesn't spike, and it tastes good. And as I said, it's traditional seed handed down generation to generation. From the corn, we recycle the husks. My ancestors were very good at recycling, and this is what's left after harvest time when we've hung the corn to dry. We twist it off and we use it, cook it down for soups, stews. In summertime, you can add it to a cold salad. You can grind it and make flours and use it in your baking. But the husk can be recycled, and long ago they were used as toys for our children, the corn husk dolls. My ancestors wore these kind of corn husk moccasins over their leather moccasin. It kept the leather dry in the wintertime. Can be made into different kind of containers and baskets. Today I've even made a more contemporary flour from the husk. And long ago, these mats were made. This is braiding, and these were like 6 to 8 feet long and wide, used as a mattress in the bark longhouses for my ancestors.
What happens is the dark growth rings squeeze together, and that because they're spongy, because they soak up the water in the springtime, and they're spongy. Okay, so then they squeeze together. When you hit it, boom, and then they spring apart. And then what I do is I scrape the dark growth ring part off, and I'm left with the white growth ring. And I soak them to rehydrate them, so that I can weave and it's flexible. Yeah. Used to be they would put the log, the black ash tree, in a spring or a brook to rehydrate it, keep it supple. But I grew up at the Akwesasne Reservation. It's a Mohawk reservation, and that's where I learned basketry. It was just at the knees of my grandma, my daughter.
Still where you feel between my fingers. You are my favorite star. The magic of your touch, it lingers. It's just the way you are. Black wings said you'll never be my number two. Black wings, you'll never be my number two. This is a number that I'm gonna invite you to, if you feel so moved, to sing with me on. Find your note wherever you want to slide in. It's a song that I like to lift up sometimes in spaces, particularly when, we hold the knowledge that many of our voices or our ancestors' voices have been silenced in whatever way, or have just, that there's, this work, this freedom, it is labor that we are struggling through. I will not silence my skin. 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 One of the things that I value and appreciate about being in community, about playing music, is not really just to be a performer. I recognize that part of my work is also as a healer, and this music provides a space for that healing, for that ability for us to come in to sometimes vulnerable places, and there's a power and I think a significance to being able to see each other on purpose, and to honor, the identities at various intersections that we hold.